It's time!
Time.
Time. Good. So here we are on a Thursday, and brothers, Jenny brothers, and we were just talking about the show The Good Place, and that Jason Mendoza's character, his favorite restaurant is this place called Stupid Nick's Wing Dump, and like every wing place ever, like Wings, etc., Buffalo Wild Wings, I shall only refer to them thus forth as Stupid Nick's Wing Dump because it just makes me laugh.
Oh yes, because yes.
Because the funny thing is, you go to places like that, and the wings just aren't that good. They're just not that good. They're just not. There are other better places to get wings, and those are not it. So I don't know.
Nope. Yeah, you'd think that a place that has wings in the name would be the best ever.
Yeah. Nope. It's true. Nope. I'm like, and I like to consider myself to be somebody that really knows a good wing, and yeah, they're okay, just okay. So
yeah,
look, I have beer.
So I have a beer too. I am also having a beer.
No. So we, as far as what we're drinking today, we're drinking Michigan beer, and I'll explain why we're drinking Michigan beer in just a minute. So for those of you joining us today, it is Thursday. It's Bar Thursday, and we're drinking beer, and we are discussing the original The Evil Dead movie, Sam Raimi's directorial 1981 feature. That is interesting, to say the least. I had not seen that movie since I was in college. It's been that
Me
long.
neither.
And
Me neither. It's been
and
like
so
30
watching
years
it again. Yeah, and so watching it again, my response was, "Huh, how about that?" But we'll get to that shortly. So now, Anne, I just was going to give you a heads up that we might get interrupted during our broadcast today because, as you know, I am a teacher in Minnesota. I live in Wisconsin, but I teach in Minnesota because we're on the western edge of Wisconsin. And the big announcement today about what we're doing for the school year, Governor Wallace came on today and talked about that. So it's kind of very still up in the air. So currently, the Forest Lake area school system has a school board meeting going on, and they're supposed to be kind of also processing and trying to figure out what we're doing for the school year. So we might have some crack reporters jump in today to give us updates on what's happening with the school board meeting. So I'm just going to give everybody fair warning about that. So that is exciting.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, to start with, let's talk about our Michigan beers, shall we, Anne?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring this into the stream. There it is, our Michigan beer. To start us off. So anyway, why Michigan beer today? Well, this is why. As you mentioned, Ann Brothers. I'm actually going to take my brand stuff off real quick because it's a no. There we go. Sam Raimi, who directed the Evil Dead series and directed the Spider-Man series, the one with Tobey Maguire and Kristen. Is it Dunst?
Dunst? Yeah. Dunst.
The ones that ran from 2003 to 2007. He was actually born and raised in Michigan, and he attended Michigan State. So we are celebrating his accomplishments as a director by drinking delicious Michigan beer. And you could do worse because Michigan is actually a really great, it's the Great Lakes state, and it's a great beer state because it turns out Michigan, and I have a little map here of all the different Michigan breweries. Michigan has over 300 breweries, and it's fifth in the nation in terms of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. And guess what?
What?
It's Michigan Beer Month. Did you know that July is Michigan Beer Month?
Duncan, did you know that?
I think it's isn't it American Beer Month?
I don't know.
Craft Beer Month.
God, why does Michigan do that? You're like, no, it's this because I'm going to kill your knowledge with my own knowledge.
Duncan, for every month is beer month for Duncan.
All I know is that that's what it said on the Michigan Brewers Guild website was that July is Michigan Beer Month, and so I put it on the web thingy that we're doing today. So
believe them, don't believe me.
Duncan says, "Believe them, don't believe him." We're going to.
We're going to because they're the Michigan Brewers Guild. All right. So again, reasons to love Michigan beer. There's a lot of really good Michigan beer out there. So some of our favorites, of course, the Grizzly Peak Brewing Company in Ann Arbor, because that's where Duncan works. He's the head brewer there. That's in Ann Arbor. One of my personal favorites is the Black Rocks Brewery in Marquette. I'm also a big fan of the Lake Superior Brewing Company, a little tiny brew place in little tiny Grand Marais, Michigan. Bell's Brewery's okay. I'm just going to give them a shout out because I'm drinking their beer right now, and I'm a fan of Kalamazoo. And one of Duncan's favorites is Barrel and Beam, which is in Marquette as well. So, and actually, you know what? Marquette, Michigan has 3 really great breweries. I didn't put it on there. I probably should have. They also have the Ordock Brewery in Marquette, also amazing. So
yeah, they have a great saison that I really like too. So
really just awesome stuff. So Mike, if you happen to be up in Marquette, Michigan, and you like beer, you are in the right spot. So that is for sure. Anne, would you like to take us through your pick today?
Yes, I picked Black Rock Brewery in Marquette, Michigan, and I picked their Grand Rapids, which is kind of a play on Grand Rapids, which is a town here in Michigan, a city here in Michigan. So it's Grand Rapids. And what I like about it, it's a cream ale, and I prefer cream ales or Kolsch's. They're usually a little bit more light and crisp, kind of dry at the end. They have a hop character, but not too hoppy. Now I'm going to, I actually quoted the description on the Black Rock Brewery website that this is a crisp, refreshing, get stuff done beer. I think that's not quite true because it has an ABV of 5.5, which is a little, that's not exactly a session beer.
It's not a session beer.
So it'll get you drunk. It's got Willamette hops and a lemon orange flavor that sits on the top of a grainy sweetness, leading to a snappy dry finish. So for me, beer is never sweet. It's always bitter. So I'm never quite understand like, oh, that's a sweet beer. And I'm like, okay, no, chocolate is sweet. But, I guess, I guess professionals think that it's sweet. But I like it. Like I said, it's an easy beer to drink with food. And that's usually what I like to do. If I'm going to have a beer, I usually like to have pizza or tacos or something like that. And it's a good beer. I enjoy it. Plus, they have a lovely little tasting area. It's this old house with a huge porch and a big yard that's all been turned into seating. So it's a really great place to hang out. And it's, it's kind of like right on the edge of where the students live in Marquette on 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on 3rd Street.
It's on 3rd Street.
Yeah, on 3rd Street. So it's kind of a cool place to see and be seen. It's where all the young cool people hang out. So sometimes I go there too.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I'm super jelly of you, which means jealous. That's what the cool kids say. The cool kids are like, I'm so jelly of you because that is actually my favorite beer. You're drinking my favorite beer right now. But unfortunately, in Western Wisconsin, Black Rock's beer is very difficult to come by. You can find it in small amounts in like Ashland, Wisconsin, which is about 2.5 hours from here. Hurley, which is about 3 hours from here, right on the Michigan border, right next to Ironwood. So I was not able to secure any Black Rocks for today. However, I am drinking my beer out of the Black Rocks pint glass that I have because it's amazing. So yeah.
It's lovely.
I love the fact that you just took it right off their website, that it's snappy. It's how much fun is it to be the guy that describes the beer? I'm going to describe this beer as snappy.
Snappy. I don't know. It gives you that like, hey, I'm going to feel fresh and fun as I drink this.
That's right. Fresh and fun. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
but
that's
at
a great beer.
5.5, I'm not going to be fresh and fun very long. So
no, you're not. You're gonna be less fresh and fun after your second beer. So,
well, I might be more fun, but I'm not going to be fresh.
I don't really look to beer as something that I drink while I'm working on stuff. That's what you drink after. So I'm like, hey, I know. Let's drink this beer and run the chainsaw. Good idea.
What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. Well, and unfortunately, because I don't get Black Rock's beer here, what I can find in terms of Michigan beers, and again, this is a really nice little summer beer. This is this is my choice for beer today, is Oberon from Bell's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's an American wheat ale with again, it's a little bit, this is a 5.8 alcohol by volume. So, you're starting to creep into that 6 range. Now, I would say what Bell's has done is genius, because they have made Oberon a must-have beer everywhere, because it's a seasonal beer, and they go through this big rigmarole every March, because this is a beer that it's seasonal, and you can only get it from, say, mid-March to about Labor Day, and after that, they don't produce it. And they make a big deal about, they actually have an Oberon Day, and Oberon Day is actually becoming a significant Michigan holiday. So they release Oberon the first Monday after the first day of spring. So it falls on different days each year. So depending on what, what Monday is the first Monday after the first day of spring. So, and it's an event. I have many friends in Michigan who literally take the day off simply so that they can go to Bell's and have Oberon Day. Now, I'm sorry to say that there was no Oberon Day event this year because of COVID. So that got canceled. But you can still have your own little Oberon Day. And Oberon is one of those beers, you can get it pretty much everywhere now. I want to say they distribute it pretty much so anywhere. So you can, I can go down to the liquor store in Osceola, Wisconsin, and grab a 6 of this. It does exist here, so it's not hard to come by. It's a nice light beer because it's a wheat ale. It has a citrusy sort of finish to it. And most people have it, they have it served with an orange. I did not choose the orange today because I don't particularly like to orange my beer. So I'm not a big fruit beer fan, or fruit in my beer. It just gets in the way. So anyway, there you go. Our 2 Michigan beer choices, Oberon and the Grand Rabbits from, again, 2 great breweries, Bell's in Kalamazoo and Black Rocks in Marquette, Michigan. So there you go.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Clink.
Clink.
Still pretty damn tasty, I gotta tell you. All right, so I'm gonna take this out, and then I think it was my fault that we watched The Evil Dead. Is that correct? Was this my pick?
It's your fault we watched The Evil Dead. Totally your fault.
My fault. All right, well, hey, I'm gonna do this real quick. Screen share, blah 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 blah. Chrome tabs, The Evil Dead. Sharing that. We got to make this thing go big. Evil Dead. What just happened there? Oh, I know what I did. All right. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. See, the problem is I need 2 monitors. I know. So,
well, maybe you can treat yourself to that this year.
Maybe, because I'm going to be doing all this hybrid or online or in-person learning. I don't know, but yeah, super awesome monitor. All right, so Evil Dead. This was released. Now there's a remake that came out in 2013, so I didn't even bother with that. But the original was released and directed by Sam Raimi in 1981. Did you want to go through this, Ann, or did you want me to go through this?
It doesn't matter to me. I'd be happy to.
Okay.
I did write this. This was my brilliant writing. So, 5 college-age friends. This is a brief synopsis of The Evil Dead. Rent a cabin, tiny on the outside but large on the inside, in the woods of Tennessee for a weekend of wholesome fun. When the cellar door suddenly flies open on its own, they discover a trove of ancient writings in human blood and recordings from an archaeologist about an ancient evil. They unwittingly unleash the evil by playing the recordings of the readings of the ancient text, and all hell breaks loose, literally. Oh, and lots of blood. Wow.
Copious amount, gallons of blood are spilled in this movie for sure. For sure. All right. Oh, and what did you learn about The Evil Dead?
I learned some very valuable lessons from The Evil Dead, and I think it's interesting that this movie came out many, decades ago, because there's still plenty of people in movies that have not learned these lessons. So once again, always listen to Cheryl. Cheryl's their canary in the coal mine. She's the 5th wheel of this little group, and she's like, I want to go. There's bad things. Get me out of here. Nobody listens. And they pay the price.
Cheryl also was not vocal in her, because they get to the cabin, and then she's like doing some drawing of the clock, and then all of a sudden her hand becomes possessed and she starts drawing out the Book of the Dead. And I'm like, don't you think that's something that you might want to tell everybody? That, hey dudes, my hand just got possessed and it drew this book.
Yes, that would have been a good idea.
I'm just saying.
That would have been a good idea. But
agreed. So
once she did come to the conclusion, which was way earlier than everybody else,
yes,
they all needed to get in that car, get over that rickety bridge.
And let's face it, something very, very bad happens to Cheryl. Very bad. Yeah.
Very.
Anyway, we're not going to go
all right,
there.
I also learned that if your friend is being attacked by somebody who's possessed by a demon, you have two choices. One, you either help them, or two, you run for your life. You do not stand around and watch the demon attack your friend and just be like, oh my gosh, oh no, what do I do?
Bruce Campbell
Those are your two options.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell does a lot of he does a lot of just standing around in this movie. He is not the Ash that we know from Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness. This is a different Ash, and you're just like, Ash, what happened, dude? You have an axe in your hand.
Yeah,
you need to use that to kill the demon person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned, and this is another thing that people have in movies still have not learned, is that one, everyone stay together and everyone stay awake. They're like, hey, go to bed. Everything will be fine in the morning. I'm like, no, don't go to bed. Two people have already gone to bed and woken up as demons. Do not leave the room. Stay together. Stay awake. You got to at least stay awake till sunrise.
Yes.
So
even then, you might not. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
even
continue.
then you might not, but your chances are better. And then finally, the last valuable lesson from the Evil Dead is don't be fooled if the demon seems to be dead and or sleeping. It is a trick to get you to come closer so that they can attack you.
And they keep doing it.
Oh, right? Every time I'm like, oh, how many times do you have to fall for this?
They fall for a lot in this movie.
Every single time. Every single time.
Correct. Why, and so you did not like this movie. Why not?
Well, like I said, it's been, I remember like not liking it that much when last time I saw it when I was like 22. And I was like, well, at least I did this once. Kind of like the log slide at the, on the Pictured Rocks. I'm like, I did it once. I don't know why I have to do it again. So,
but you did.
But I did. I did both twice. So, it combines two of my least favorite types of horror movies, which is demon possession and slasher films. I don't particularly like either of those type of films, and it's both. Like we said, gallons of blood. Yes. It takes itself too seriously, which is awesome about Evil Dead 2 and the Army of Darkness, and then the TV show Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yes.
So campy, it's hilarious. This is not hilarious. This is like way too serious. This movie seems a lot longer than the 96 minutes it really takes would suggest. I mean, I was like, talk about wanting to do some dishes. And then, man, they just won't die. They just won't die.
No.
So.
No. Well, because he had to dismember the bodies of the demons, and he kept not doing that, you know. So I don't know. All right. So here are my musings on the Evil Dead. I said this is not a great movie, but you have to start somewhere. And there are some pretty cool, creepy moments in this movie. You can tell that Sam Raimi's just sort of figuring out who he is as a director. So my favorite part is the whole first-person perspective of the demon working its way through the woods. I love that. I think it's super creepy. And I think it really sets the stage for other horror movies down the road. So you could also see flashes of the director that Sam Raimi is going to become here and there throughout the movie. And that's kind of fun, especially going back and seeing the stuff that he's done now. So my advice is, in the end, skip Evil Dead and go right on to Evil Dead 2, because Evil Dead 2 is basically a remake of Evil Dead.
Totally.
But it's funnier. And it's also, Evil Dead 2 is the prequel to Army of Darkness, which is a great movie. So, which is dumb and funny, and we see Ash as a completely different character. He's very different in Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness than he is in the Evil Dead. So, yeah, that's those are my thoughts and feelings about Evil Dead, is that you can just skip it, go right on to Evil Dead 2. It's basically the same movie, and actually there's some really great comic moments in that movie, in Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was doing a little research on Evil Dead, and you know, because you're kind of like, how did this movie end up to be such a cult classic? And it didn't. They had a hard time financing it. They actually stopped production of it 2 or 3 times so that both Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, who plays Ash Williams, could go and scrounge up more money. They both grew up in Royal Oak, Michigan, so they were buddies before this, and.
Yep.
It didn't do, I mean, they made it on the cheap. It did not make very much money, but then Stephen King saw it and gushed over it, just thought it was like one of the best horror movies he'd ever seen. And after that, people started seeing it. And then, of course, with, you know, VHS and VCRs, it got more play. So it's actually done remarkably well, considering, you know, it was a really cheap movie to make. And I know it's very much time and place. I mean, it came out in 1981, so post Chainsaw Massacre, pre Freddy Krueger movies, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street and Michael and Halloween. So, you know, it was right in that time and place, and where they were all competing to see who could be the grossest. And I think they won, really. But, you know, it's like, so like some of the other movies definitely were inspired by this, you can tell. And you can definitely see the director that he's going to become. Some of his, you know, use of camera. I mean, considering they spent a huge amount of money on fake blood, you know, just some of the best stuff in it isn't the gross stuff, but, you know, what you don't see, which are the type of horror movies that I like. Is I think it's scarier what you don't see, and you let, you know, your imagination run wild. So that's pretty cool. And then he's directed some like really good movies like The Gift, which is a great movie. It doesn't, you know, it's kind of underrated, but a really good movie. And then he directed a movie based on the book A Simple Plan, which I highly recommend the movie. And the book is spectacular. So if you're looking for something that's underrated and did not get a lot, actually, what's his name? Bill Paxton, yes?
Bill Paxton's in that, yeah. And
Bill
so
Paxton,
is what's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
That's the one I was thinking of. That other guy that did the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So again, Bill Paxton, he always picked good movies. So if you really want to see an excellent movie that he did, both of those are not very underrated, excellent films. And I know you can get The Gift on Netflix. So scary,
Nice.
it's scary. It's scary. Super
so
scary.
So yeah. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, and today I went to Grand Rapids to see my Aunt Julie. And
Hi, Julie.
we stopped at this bakery that makes only bundt cakes. And I bought myself a lemon raspberry bundt cake, which I'd rather be eating instead of drinking beer. So I just wanted to say, So what was it? Only bundt cakes. If you're ever in Grand Rapids on, what is it? Nothing but bunts.
Nothing but cake.
If you're ever in Grand Rapids on 28th Street, nothing but bunts. Stop there. Get some bundt cake.
Funny. That's funny. So
yeah,
I don't have any bundt cake, but I have this beer, and I'll just keep drinking it. I've almost managed to drink the whole thing. Shocking.
Me too. Me too. What a surprise. So yeah, so there you go. So The Evil Dead. You know, it's
awesome.
20. What
it
is
it? What it
81?
is.
81. God, 30 years.
Yeah. I would say
depressing.
unless you are a hardcore horror fan, you're not going to watch this movie. Don't watch this movie. Yeah. It's okay. So now, and I was informed by my husband of a very important event that took place. It might have been yesterday or the day before. And it's the 35th anniversary of the release of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah. So, and I found myself regretting it. I'm like, we should have done Pee-wee. That's okay.
Well, we can do Pee-wee next week, unless you wanted to continue. We could do, we could take a break and do Pee-wee, and then we can come back and do Evil Dead 2, and then we can take a break and do another movie, and then we can do Army of Darkness.
Yes, let's totally do Pee-wee's Big Adventure next week to celebrate the release of the 35th anniversary of the release of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Top 10 movie for me. Top 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, someday we're going to have to discuss that, Jenny. We're going to have to discuss our top 10 movies because there's going to be some opinions about that.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree 100%. So, all right. Well, I got some time. I guess I'll watch the school board meeting. So, anyway,
That sounds like fun.
sounds like fun. And I have to make dinner still because I haven't done that either. I've been a bad wife today. I've been a bad wife. So,
Okay,
mowed the lawn, and we have a big lawn. So there you go.
there you go. That's good for you. Order a pizza. That sounds, Joe can start his diet tomorrow. Order pizza tonight. Order a vegetarian pizza. There you go.
I like it. All right, Ann Brothers. I'll see you Sunday.
Yes, I will see you Sunday.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys Sunday. We'll let you know what time and what we're talking about, but we'll be back Sunday. And again, you guys, with all the COVID stuff going on, Michigan breweries are kind of suffering a little bit. So go out and get you some Michigan beer. Oh, wait, we can't leave yet. We have a comment. Joan Kelly Wilson says, you two are hysterical. Enjoyed the beer review too. Well, Joan, thank you.
Thanks, Joan.
So, we appreciate your
California.
feedback. Joan, yay! Welcome to beautiful Western Wisconsin and beautiful scenic Southeastern Michigan. So, right on.
It's beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, have a great day. Happy Thursday. Beautiful summer day. We are closing up July and moving into August. Can you believe it? So, anyway, Ann Brothers, be good.
Jenny Brothers, you be good or don't get caught.
Good advice.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.